Now, last night, the BBC aired a documentary about Katie Price and her son Harvey, and it followed their journey to find a suitable college for him because he's moving from a special educational needs school and paediatric care and now into adulthood. It was so moving, Gloria, wasn't it? And, you know, obviously we all know Katie. We've worked with Katie. We've talked to her a lot about Harvey. But I think people might have seen a very different side to her in that documentary last night.
I think so. I find, as you say, we know Katie, and we actually know Harvey a bit as well. He's been in to see us a couple of times. I thought it very revealing. And Katie has made certain decisions in her private life, etc. But I believe, having watched that documentary, people would definitely see a different side of Katie, because for 18 years she has loved and cared for a boy who can be very tricky at times. I mean, we saw him kicking a door, and also in the documentary we have seen him punching through the wall or knocking his head against the wall. But Katie has a real knack of settling him and dealing with him, which I find very, very emotional. And I think people will certainly realize that Katie is a very good mother, whatever else they say. But it must be a nightmare for Katie trying to find a placing which is suitable for Harvey now that he's 18.
I mean, there's no doubt, Janet, that her love and her care and attention is unwavering for that young man.
Very much so.
You've got personal experience with your stepson, so you know some of the difficulties she faces.
Yeah, I mean, my husband's son had cerebral palsy and other issues and had to go to a residential school like Harvey did from Monday to Friday, and then we would have him on the weekends. And just like Harvey, he didn't like any deviation from routine. And I was glad that we saw the banging, the holes in the wall and, you know, his challenging behaviour. In fact, I could have seen a bit more of that. I mean, I thought the film actually showed a very sunny, positive side to Harvey, but we've seen here what Katie has to deal with. That you know, he's very unsettled.
Well, it was a snapshot, wasn't it?
Because yes,
I think that was her choice, not to show.
And Bunny, my stepson, was the same. If anything disturbed him, he would bang his head on the wall till it bled, and obviously we had to get him a crash helmet and stuff like that. I think the other thing, my heart goes out to Katie, that I know that when she goes out with Harvey, people comment and they stare and they make horrible remarks. And, you know, I had that to a limited degree myself with Bunny, who is an enchanting child, just like Harvey, and was also very musical and very artistic. Of course, the film ends with this huge dilemma that the future for Harvey lies in the hands of local authority, who are at the moment strapped for cash and will look at the cheapest option. And that seems to me desperately unfair, because every child who has these special needs and needs care and attention should never end up being sectioned, should never, ever be put in an adult mental hospital. You know, residential care and one-on-one, you know, care is what they need, and our society can't deny it to them.
Well, we saw that, Linda, didn't we?
We
saw that the mother last night, whose son had been taken, you know, into a mental care institution, and he'd been sectioned. You know, it took her 5 years, I think.
But we saw first-hand Katie with Harvey, didn't we? Yeah. We were doing a campaign and we were doing a photo shoot, and Katie brought Harvey down and he was fine until he wanted a cake. They didn't have the cake that he wanted, and then he just kicked the table in the air.
But how wasn't she amazing? Do you remember that?
She was amazing. She went, just look at me, calm down now. That's not acceptable. You can't do that. I mean, she's got 5 kids as well, you know, like, so it's really hard.
Yeah, and I think we said we saw, I think it was Bunny last night.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lovely relationship. They all seem very, very close, the other children, that they just accept their brother. But like Janet said, you know, what a very difficult decision she's got facing her of where he goes, because
don't forget, on the days that Harvey's at home, and at the moment, you know, he's returning home for the weekends and she's having him there at night, she's got to try and impose rules on someone who doesn't really understand why they're being imposed. And bedtime, clearing up. I thought it was really impressive. She got him to cook, she got him to change his bed. Well done, Katie.
Well, yeah, Katie, we all watched it. It was amazing watching you. We know what an incredible mother you are, and our love to you and Harvey. And just, you know, we'll follow that story with her to see where she does end up sending him, and hopefully that he settles and that he's happy, because he's obviously very happy with her at home.